Mm, So let me see. All right, we are live on YouTube. So good evening, everybody. Tonight we are going to talk about self-learning. I have my friends Kelvin and Pedro, and we have some questions to guide our conversation. And I would like to ask to you, Pedro, the first question. What, haha, surprise.
Mhm.
What does self-learning mean to you and why is it important?
All right. So, guys, I believe when you have a formal education, it's important. I believe if you just study by yourself, nowadays I believe it's possible because we have so much content on internet available. But in my opinion, I believe when you have some instructions, teachers guiding you some journey showing some examples, it's something important. I believe it's important. But the self learning is essential. Like if you want to develop a better professional, because if you just study just what are available, you start at some graduation, that your graduation said, yeah, you have to study HTML, for example. You just focus on that, but it, our formal still education, I believe, don't follow the how fast the routine and the progress in our world. So I believe it's very important. We understand where we want to come, and try to study by ourselves, by by books, by courses, and the internet is some way can help us about this process. That's my opinion.
Cool, thanks. What about you, Kelvin? What do you think?
I totally agree with Pedro because I was a self-learner for basic the last 1, 2 year, I think. Um, because I want to learn more and study something specific things of my career. So I started to search things or search course to try to study by myself almost uh, structured by myself after the working. So I keep doing this the entire last year, and I think it's a strong tool to learn new things by ourselves because now it's more difficult to get a course that is not so expensive or a mentor, things like this. And with the internet, we have almost everything free. We can search and find. It's hard. We find the correct content, organize the correct way. However, I think it's the most important way to learn new things today. It's self-learning using the internet.
Cool, thanks. I appreciate your thoughts on that first question, and I will give my 2 cents about it. I remember Pedro has mentioned that we have a lot of information on the internet available, but the problem is this information is not organized. So when you have someone else putting together a lot of information, but in an organized way, it can be the difference, and it can be called a course, even if all the content was not produced by this person. So uh, to me, I believe self-learning is more related to the pace. I mean, the discipline you have, the goals you have, and also the strategy that you're applying to learn something than to only know by yourself. Even if you're attending a university class, college class, or any other course class, I believe you are a self-learning because it's not enough to only go and show up in a classroom, right? You have to review what you've been exposed for. And also as the previous videos we watched, the teacher mentioned that learning is not about the content we are covering during the class, but also things that we are discovering. And even though we are trying to learn by ourselves, we will always have, I don't think it have, but we will always take advantage of someone else's experience. So someone else have tried, someone else have tested anything, and we can always have opinions, participate on communities, forums, and stuff like that. And then we can understand it when we can organize and accomplish some accomplish the goal that we have or the mission that we have uh, created by created to ourselves. So I believe this is really important because again, it's not only to be present, to be on the place, we have to fully understand, we have to test, to prove, and then we can consider that we are learning something. Really, really complex subject to talk about, right?
Yeah, because it involves a lot of things, and I think the most hardest is every time keeping view again what you study, because like you said, you are self-learning by yourself, so you don't have someone to give you activities to fix the content. You always to keep studying and reviewing by yourself, and so it take a lot of motivation to.
Yeah, it's not that easy. So cool. Let's jump to the second question. Kelvin, do you mind to read and answer the second question to us?
Hey, have you ever taught yourself a new skill or subject? How did you do it? Uh, I have been doing this in, I think the personal way and the professional way. The last year, I studied a lot by myself to become a better programmer. So every day, yeah, every day I take, sometimes I take the entire night studying, seeing videos, class, and practice everything. I think it depends of the people. Someone's learning better with practice, someone with theory, someone with challenge. I learned better with practice. So I always study a new topic. I try to practice the most I can. So I use it to learn new skills and subjects in my career. And now I'm doing this for my personal life. I was going to the gym for 1 year. However, I think it's so repetitive, and now I am trying to do other exercise. So I am trying to practice by myself calisthenics. So I saw a video on YouTube, try to get the steps and try it by myself, step by step. And it's not easy because we don't have a teacher to explain us which muscular group we need to activate it, how see if our posture is okay or not. So it's hard when you are trying to do alone. However, I think for me, practice is the better way. So I always try to practice something when I want to learn it.
And I agree with you, at least in my case, I need to practice because when I practice, I can connect the ideas and I believe I can store the information in a totally different way, totally effective way. So if I can, there's a graphic that where you read, you retain 35% of information, something like that. When you listen, you retain X amount, X% of information. And when you do it, you retain more information. But when you teach, when you show to someone else, when you have to explain to someone else, then it's almost 100% that you
Yeah,
can retain.
sorry.
No,
Uh,
no, that's it.
I learned a lot about some subjects because the company I was working, we are trying to add a new rules, a new ways to do something. However, some developers don't know these ways, so I create like a class and should explain it for everyone. And when I was creating the material, the slides, the documents, I needed to get my knowledge and explain it in better and easy ways. So basically, I have to learn everything again in easy way to explain for someone, and this helped me fix it a lot. Now I think I will never forget what I I teach for someone.
Remember, never say never. So, Pedro, what about you? What do you think? Is there something that you have taught yourself, a new skill or subject?
All right. I remember when I started graduation on design, I worked with a graphic as a graphic designer, but I perceived myself I was stagnating in my career, and I would try like to change a little bit, and I try to study uh, to study by myself like different areas from the design, and I found the UX area, and the first time I tried to consume all the content I find, like you said before, uh, on the internet the difficult because everything is not organized, so you have to find it like it by yourself the what you have to focus, what you have to make more effort to learn, what is more important for you. It is difficult for me, but that is something that I try to study by myself, and it was very good because I could understand the basics of this area. I understand that it works for me, and after that I try to study like with some course that I paid, and some way I believe like it's important when you study by yourself you have something like to certificate your knowledge, because if you just saw on some interview, so I know how to do that, but you have any comproval of that, even is a certification or a portfolio or something similar from that, it will not acceptable, because like how I can know you know do that. So it's important to have some way to provide your technology too.
Yeah.
This is an interesting point. Go ahead, Joey.
Oh, yeah. I remember uh, a phrase that someone said is for an interview, it's better you show that you know something that you don't know instead you know something and don't show that you know it.
For the
Because
interview, or
yeah, for
just
an
for the
interview, because for a test, oh my god. But it's a true. You can know everything that the job wants. However, if you can't provide it, can show that you know, the recruiter won't accept you. So, yeah,
So about the 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 thing that Pedro has said, I partially agree regarding certificate. For example, if you have an English certificate okay, I have studied 4 years in school XYZ, and you are going to an interview, let's say you're going to an interview with someone that is really fluent in English. If you are not capable, if you're not able to communicate, to understand, your certificate is useless, right? So, of course, I am being uh, generalist when I'm speaking of a language. There are some abilities that can be hard to show that you know, that you understand. But if you are talking with someone that is really experienced in that technology, with a few phrases, a few words, they can identify that you are, uh, if you are experienced in that or not. So, but it's something like I believe the certificate has a different meaning to us. It's something like, okay, I have achieved it. This is my prize. Something like that, right? Let me put on the wall, frame it and put on the wall to myself to see. I have that feeling because I have a couple of certificates and it's something like, okay, I'm not an expert in that technology, but I have reached the minimum knowledge to get certificates. But it's something like, okay, this is something like a prize, but I need to keep doing it. I need to keep studying or practicing, otherwise I will I will be outdated in a few, I don't know, in a few months or a few years. Remember, Kelvin, it's not impossible to forget something that you even have teach someone, have taught someone else. So because we are not computers. Cool. So we have we are just on the second question and we have more eight. Do you want guys to choose any question like Kelvin? Do you want to choose a question and then read an answer to us, and then Pedro can do the same?
Let me see here.
Pedro has an advantage because he's already reading and choosing his question.
We skip to number 5. It's it's a little similar what I said. It's Do you think self-learning requires more discipline than learning with a teacher? Why or why not? Yeah, I think that self-learning needs a lot of more discipline and motivation because when you are makes everything can be everything alone, it's more harder. I saw a lot of friends that I want to the gym. I want to go into the gym because I don't have a partner. But why you can't go alone? Why? It's motivation. So I think it's not only self-learning. I think everything that you are doing alone, it's more hard. You need more discipline and motivation. I don't know the real reason. I don't know if because we are humans and we are more sociable people, or it's because we want to do another things and alone we don't have motivation, or sometimes when we have a teacher or a partner, we they can motivate you to do something. So yeah, it's more hard. And me, for example, to try to keep studying every day, I get a lot of motivation because I want to grow in my career, earn more money. Basically, is one of my motivation to study every day. And now I slow down a little bit because yeah, it was getting hard. So, but today I'm trying to keep studying again, and it's so hard because we need to do something alone by yourself. Try to find a way to learn it better, and even mainly when it's something that you don't like. For example, I don't like to study a language study. So when I'm here talking, it's more easy, it's better, it's more cool. I like it, and I can practice. I can learn new things. So when you are doing by yourself, you should try to find out new ways to learn with fun. Like talk is a way to learn English with fun. But after no, before I start in talk, it's more hard. I practice English every day because like it, I do it by myself, and yeah, basically
So, how long have you been studying English?
I think mm, more than 1 year, 1 year and 3 or 4 months. I study by myself and in classic ways, like sometimes watching a kind of videos in English, listen music, is try to learn grammar a little bit. So the part of videos and music, I like it. However, I can do this for more than 30 minutes. I I I got enjoado. So and talk
You
more easy
get
with
you get bored.
Yeah, perfect. I get bored. So
Something boring to do.
yeah. So talk is more easy because it's more dynamic. It's only one topic. However, we can speak a lot of different things in only one topic. It's more dynamic for us, and we don't see the time passing.
Something like right now we have only 15 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good sensation. Cool, thanks. What about you, Pedro? Do you want to answer the same question as Kelvin, or do you want to choose a different question to read and answer? It's up to you.
So I will choose the number 7. What are some common challenges people face when trying to learn something on their own? In my opinion, guys, I will share some experience that I faced when I tried to study by myself. And I believe like the most thingy with the parity on this journey is consent, because sometimes when you try to study by yourself something, you are so much motivated to study, everything is new, but with pass of the time, and like I said before, we don't have like if you don't have a organization like what step by step you have to study, you will be its motivation sometime, and you don't have a teacher sometimes. If you don't have a group of pairs of people try to motivation you, I believe like that is gonna be so hard for like to deal and try to keep on and study by yourself. I have this same problem nowadays because I have so much plans in my mind. Like for example, I know I want to try to make some freelancers to try to develop myself and make extra money. But I don't know how I can start, and I don't have any support. I don't know where I have to start, and with that I have to get some other certifications on the training process that I am doing now. I know that is so much important too, but I don't know where I started too. And that is something that I believe like it's a hard when you start to study by yourself and deal by yourself with the things. I did it when I was in the past, like the paper of some coaches and things like that, some kinds of professionals. But nowadays, I consider that sometimes it's could be a good help, like for your life, like someone like trying to show some route you can trail and show like some perspective you don't see. And that is, I believe, like it's harder when you try to do some things by yourself, but it's possible. But you have to be a constant, you have to be more motivated if you are compare if you are a regular education.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Yeah, I want to add a compliment about what Pedro said. One the hardest thing self-learning, I think, is with the people don't know if they are in the correct path because they are learning by themselves, learn what they think it's necessary for what they want, but they don't know if that's correct. So you are studying, you can learn new things. However, you don't know if you should learn exactly it. I think this can start a lack of motivation because you can think you are growing something. However, you can growing in the wrong way. You can doing not the most short path. So when we don't have
Not
someone
only
to guide you, oh, go ahead.
not only a short path, but the wrong path maybe.
Yeah,
And also we can be wasting our time without even noticing. So I believe if you choose to use only one way to reach a goal regarding learning something, it's not the best approach, I would say. I would try to consider more than one media, more than one source of information. And thanks God we have internet right now. And it's so much easier. Again, it's easier until the second page because we can go to the wrong path and without having anyone mentoring us or guiding us, it can be really challenging and it can take more time. It can take longer than it would be if we have proper guidance, I would say. And I apologize, I interrupted
no
you,
problem.
Kelvin. And something that goes straight to what you and Pedro have said, like when you have a partner, when you have someone else that share the same goal that you have, even it doesn't apply only for learning something, but also for doing something like going to work out on the gym or going to play football. I don't know. If you have someone else to like a partner, you have a commitment. Maybe today you are not 100% up to go, but you have the commitment and then you go no matter how you're feeling today. But tomorrow it can be the opposite. So you have a kind of a partnership, a commitment, and you will make an extra effort to go and to do whatever you have to do, whatever it takes to do. So I believe why it's so important to have someone to support you and someone to share the same goals. And but it's really hard when you are totally alone, when you are trying things by yourself. Your brain is not your best ally in this situation, right? Because our brains are always trying to save energy. So it's different when you go to clean your house, it's so much easier to do this than to sit down in a chair and study like 2 or 3 hours in a row because your brain is spending a lot of energy despite the physical activity you'll be spending energy as well, but it's different. In my case, it's really hard to educate myself, to educate my brain, and say, look, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to study this like for 2 hours, and then, oh my God, my entire body hurts. I don't know if you have the same feeling. Maybe we are able to control and to dominate this feeling, but uh, is that the same to you, Kelvin and Pedro? What do you think?
Yeah, this week especially, I don't know if it was because I was sick. And when get this time like 16, 7, oh, 6, 7 p.m., my body and my mind is totally um it's, I don't know I gonna say esgotado. It's so
Exhausted, feeling
exhausted. Yeah,
exhausted.
perfect. Are totally exhausted. Before this immersion, uh I was laid down in my bed, only uh, and see, take a look on the floor, doing nothing, and it's time to wake up and go to the immersion. I was I had nothing of energy.
Yeah, I understand you. I got you. Do you know when you say I got you, it's something like I support you. It's different when you say I got it. It's something like, oh, I understand it. Yeah, I learned it in the when I said I got you to a teacher of mine in the past, and he said, oh, look, when you say I got you, it's something like, okay, I'm here. You can count on me. I am supporting you. But in that case, I got you because it's almost the same to me. And it's funny because we can spend like 3 hours, like tonight, spend 3 hours watching Netflix or any bullshit on the television. And oh, that's okay. But when it comes to, okay, let me do something productive, let me spend energy to learn something new, my brain doesn't agree. Okay, not a not a, don't count on me, my brain said. What about you, Pedro? Do you have the same feeling when it comes to learn something or when it comes to do something? I wouldn't say boring, but when you have to spend like energy learning, trying to get an information, what do you think?
So I am the same thing, guys. I want to be a different, but for me it's a real different because, for example, nowadays it's my first time that I work as a CLT, and I work and I touch point and things like that. And because most of the work that I worked before, or hybrid or remote, but nowadays I work on site. And it's a totally different because I try to adapt my routine. For example, I started to go to the gym too, but I don't know what time is better for me, or it is just in the morning or afternoon. I most of my life I like to do exercise on the morning, in the morning. But nowadays, I feel like when I got out from the work and I just come from my home and go to the gym, is a could sometimes a product because like if I just go, I went to my job and go to my home. Oh my gosh, I feel like so much exhausted. I just get my cell phone and scroll, 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 scroll. When I saw it's like 16, 60, 30, and I did nothing, nothing. And when I go to the gym, it's like I just change my clothes, go to the gym. When I come back, I try to I took a shower, and after that, it's easier for me like do something productive. But sometimes don't work too. Like sometimes our brain just want to procrastination and some things like that. But it's really important like try to put in our routine some studies and things like that. I never had for example, a formal routine from reading, but nowadays I want to keep that more serious ways because I know it's important, and I read, but sometimes for me and my brain's more interested like watch some video and things like that. But I'm trying to reading more nowadays.
And remember, we are not machines, right? So we have to do our best, but sometimes we need to take some rest. We need to do nothing. We need the idleness, right? Well, guys, we have only 3 minutes left, and I have just shared with you the survey URL. Please go there, evaluate this conversation, and if you have any suggestions, please share with us. Uh, what I would say as well, it was really good, despite the fact we have just talked about four questions. It was a really nice conversation. I think we had the opportunity to share our thoughts on this subject and also to practice a little bit our listening, our interpretation from the video of the Mumble guy, and also um, and also put together our ideas and share our thoughts about this self-learning topic. Okay, so microphone is open, mic's open, and you can share whatever you want. We have just 2 minutes. Feel free to say anything you want.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. I rem when you said about we are tired, however, we can spend 3 hours watching something. I remember a day that I was almost sleeping, got tired. And however, some friends started playing and called me to playing something, video game. I play with this for hours because we are tired. We can sleep, but only for another things. It's dopamine. This sad.
Yeah, I wish we have like a pill, special pill with of energy without any side effect.
Yeah,
I would put all my money there and buy the much as I can to use it on a daily basis.
yeah. But in general, it was a good conversation. I appreciate.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Pedro, that's it. Kelvin, thank you so much, guys. Pedro, feel free, say anything. I have just 30
I would
seconds.
just say thank you because it was a great conversation, guys. I like too much.
Awesome. So have a good one. See you here next week. Same time, same channel. Okay. So bye.
Bye.